Hello and welcome back to Railway Empire 2. It's been a little while, but I have a new PC now. That's what happened. The old one wasn't faring too well and is now sat behind me, ready to become a server. It's okay for that. But for everything else I was doing on YouTube and away from YouTube, it was becoming quite an issue. So yes, that had to retire. So farewell, old PC. That's been my PC on YouTube for quite a while. And now we have a new one. So it took me a while to get everything set up. So many cogs got changed that had to be realigned for recording. And YouTube in general. Do we want that during the intro? No, they're always far too expensive. We'll let them bid on that if they do. I don't think they will. They don't have a lot of money, do they? No. Like us at the moment, however, we are playing today because I want to save up some money. We are going to take a look at the tasks shortly. There's been some storms as well. This is a lot later than it should have been. The PC's been okay for the last few days. Mic might sound a little different. Although it is the same mic, different motherboard means different audio. But anyway, enough of that. If you do want to check out what PC I'm using, it's always linked in the description below. So for the majority, yes, for every video that you've seen on Railway Empire 2 has been on my old PC. This is the beginning of a new era. And with that, this is a kind of a nice segue. There's a new era to Railway Empire 2 as well. It has the old signalling back, but you have to start a new game, so we don't get to see it just yet. However, we will explore those eventually. Hopefully they work similar to Railway Empire 1. Anyway, enough waffling grand. Task list, how we doing? I do kind of remember what we were doing. There might be a slight change of plan. But yeah, we can't really deviate much from the task list anyway. So, deliver 12 loads of tools to Austin. I know I've skipped the first one. But we are underway for producing steel. In Austin, I believe, as well. So, yes, that's our current goal, to get coal down here. That rhymes. Good start. It's lovely. So we're going to produce a total of 13 loads of steel via factories and then deliver 12 loads of tools to Austin. Tools we'll take a look at, but they're quite a ways down the demand list, about 85,000, I think, somewhere around there. Population for Austin. But they are growing. They do have a library. And then we've got transport 60 passengers without changing trains from Dallas to Memphis, which is going to be a bit of a tricky one, as we'll have to buy that area over there. A grain farm near Memphis? Probably not. We're going to need the money for buying this region, Tennessee, or access to the region. We're not going to own Tennessee. So yeah, that's going to cost us 858,000, which we might want to think about holding off on that, pay off one of these bonds and flip it, and that should give us a little bit more money to play with. Arkansas also, we need to purchase that. That's another 604,000 if we do want to get a nice train running to Memphis, like a main line between Dallas and Memphis, maybe with a little branch off to Shreveport there. So yes, money is going to be the name of the game today. And if we keep building what we're building, we should be fine on that. We've got to hook up this coal. Now we could purchase it if it's a decent price. Now it is. Let's do it. Let's start off with a bit of a factory purchase.
I hope you have not lost any men in this battle.
No, not really. That wasn't a battle. That's not how acquiring businesses work. Or did it back in the day? Perhaps. Oh, I was just very confused there. Purchase offer from Erosay. I thought she started playing. No, that's us. That's us. That's my wife, of course. The auction has ended. We only paid 80,000 for that. That's nice because we're going to make use of it immediately. We need a few warehouses, don't we, along the way to get our coal down here and make use of our existing lines. We're not really in a position to quad track all of this just yet, so we're going to have to hopefully squeeze them on to our mixed services that we've got here, which already it looks like we need more than one for that, don't we? Otherwise there's not going to be enough room. So let's get another one running. We've put them on the same line so they will space themselves out, which is something we would like for a mixed service, as we want to keep the frequency fairly consistent. Right then, is that our new one? Dallas to Austin. Yeah, there we go. We're already taking a load of passengers and mail. If we can keep up with that passenger and mail demand, then we've got room for our freight. Eventually, we'll just add a freight line, as we're slowly doing down here. Slowly but surely. And don't call me Shirley. This is perfect. Slowed due to a missing supplies. There has been a change in the last patch. Not only do we have new signals, but trains without water now operate at 50% speed. What it used to do, which is why I didn't care too much about it, it used to operate via the acceleration, which it didn't really make too much difference. But now we're operating at 24 miles an hour. Its top speed is nearly 50 miles an hour. So yes, that is now operating at half speed. So everything I said about supply towers not being the most important still kind of stands, but now you're punished a little bit more. Did they listen to me? Maybe that's just been said before. I did it to myself there, didn't I, by saying that the water towers weren't really that useful. They were pointless to a degree. Now we have to make sure that guy gets some supplies. So we'll put a supply tower in there. And when he gets here and hopefully fills up, what you doing? Are you confused? Oh yes, you're just waiting. Okay, you're redoing your route. He's going to stay in here, fuel up with his, well, not fuel up, resupply with his water. As a whole, any of these that are low will cause your train to slow down. It's mainly water that you need to concentrate on. I'm not sure what oil and sand does. Probably running costs, actually, thinking about it. You might have to pay for all of this to resupply your trains. So we'll get to see how this train responds. Before, it was only doing 24 miles an hour. It's a lovely change, isn't it? It makes them required. I mean, you can still get away with it. It's not the end of the world. So if you're short on cash, you can still prioritize on perhaps building your network. We've almost got enough money to flip that bond. Hopefully we can flip it. Otherwise that's going to be a bit of a problem, isn't it? Now they might offer us a third bond. Doubtful. But yeah, to pay this off, it's not just that we need. We also need the early payoff fee, don't we? Penalty interest, yeah. So we need roughly 1.2 million, which we're doing okay with. Right, are you going to do better than 24 miles an hour, or was it a case of your load is too heavy? Well, you're picking up speed, and there's your answer. There we go. Our train is now running at full speed, and we should indeed go and check to see there are no other trains holding up our network. We do have the connection bonus down in New Orleans, which we should take advantage of, as it's a bit like a subsidized build, isn't it? Like we've got a grant to connect them up. And yes, we're going to need, well, this one, for example, not as urgent, especially if the train isn't full. Yeah, see, this one wouldn't be as urgent. It does need a maintenance building, though. Do you? Yeah, you do. This one needs one, doesn't it? Over in Jackson. Yes, let's get that sorted. We don't need our trains breaking down and being held back to half speed. Do you know, let's do it. These are fairly cheap, aren't they? 28,000. We'll get you plopped in there, then you can run at full speed. Again, not really necessary. So this build has to be done as a priority. Then we'll get our coal running. We've got until 1878, which is quite a way away, but we don't want to be too relaxed when it comes to building away from our tasks. But it's all going to help, isn't it? Getting New Orleans hooked up will allow us to have more passengers on our network, which is more income. And what do you make anyway? You make beer, so Jackson can get some beer. Beaumont does make beer, but would prefer to take it from New Orleans, wouldn't we? Yeah, definitely. So we're going to need 1.2 million in the bank before we do any of this. We have to buy this area and this area. Maybe building this might be an idea. Oh, do you know? Yeah, because we can take advantage of that, can't we? And start making the income. The lay of the land isn't overly terrible, is it? We've got an Indian village in there. And we want to really scoot round the side, don't we? Regardless. I don't think it's necessary to have it, or this station at the very least, run through the centre. Can we squeeze in here? It's tight, but we can just about do it. This will give us a little bit of room to build to the north. And then what we can do... Oh, no, we can't yet, can we? We'll maybe do this. We'll hook this up. And then shift it up into this section. And hopefully get it up something like that instead. We'll scoot past the Indian village there. And then we'll come in at our freight line down this end. It's not a bad build, is it? It's only 71,000. And we're going to get connection bonus once we've got it all hooked up. So now that we're connected, we can angle this station a little better perhaps. If we go something like that and take out some of that angle and be a little further away from the city itself, collision with another building, which is that our own? I think that's our own, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, we're just a little bit closer there. It shortens the line. In fact, saying that, it's going to make the curve tighter, isn't it? So far, we've got a nice curve. And it was a pleasant price. So, scrub that. We're just going to go with a full line. How much is this second line going to cost us? 121,000 plus 70 odd. So less than 200,000. And we're done. And now we're going to get 300 and something thousand back. And probably by the time we get the connection bonus, we'll have already flipped our bond as well. Oh yes, we've got a train to build. And fortunately, we do have a maintenance building in Jackson now. This is going to be automatic, isn't it? Yeah, our Brooks Mogul is our automatic train. Nice top speed of 60 miles an hour. Not going to worry too much about our special wagons down there. Alright, the setup. We'll wait until we get that connection bonus. We should be able to do it within plenty of time. Plenty of people jumping on board. There we go. Loading up. We will need a maintenance yard on there, and we will need a supply tower on there. Otherwise, this guy will only be running at a top speed of 30 miles an hour. Not acceptable. Although it's unlikely these trains would have got up to 60 back in the day regardless. But yes, we want to run at maximum speed, don't we? Away she goes. Lovely and full of passengers and mail. Good to see. So not only is that going to be a payday once you get there for our connection bonus, it's also going to be 20 odd thousand perhaps for our passengers and mail. In fact, should we keep an eye on it? When it gets in there, we'll see how much we get. Right, here comes our train, I think. Yeah, that's the one. How much are you going to give us for a journey? There's our 336,000. The train will tick up its income once it's finished unloading. There we go. Oh, nearly 40,000 on top of that. That was over half of what well over half of what we paid for one of these lines. Goodness me, that was a good decision, me. Right, brilliant. What we can do now then is flip this bond, I think. Yeah, we'll flip this one. We can afford it. Hopefully it gives us another one. Otherwise, this is a big mistake. We could, but I accidentally hit the right mouse button and it vanished off the screen. I panicked there. I thought I'd done something silly. Right, 2.6 million we can take out. Let's take that out because we need to grab this as soon as possible because they're just going to get more expensive. And we need to grab that one as well. So now we've got a nice direct line all the way from Dallas to Memphis for that part of the challenge. She's not going to be happy with us, is she, when we build there? Still plenty of money in the bank as well, although our interest payments have gone up through the roof. Do you know, performance is quite a bit better on the new PC. That's for sure. This is going to be an interesting one. I guess while he's still in the way, we can branch off of Dallas and just have a direct line run through to Memphis. And maybe we can sort of block her off too, although I don't think that's going to be a thing. If we get this running, task list, we've got to transport 60 passengers, which won't take long. But we can forget about that then, can't we? And just make the money from the, probably just an express service. The distance is rough. Yeah, that's a long way to be hauling cloth. We can have separate freight trains for that, as that would be excessive. And I don't think we really need to hook it up this early on. We've got no real way to dance around her at the moment. Maybe we can wiggle up there, up into this end, possibly. We'll see. We'll just get the connection.
Good day. Another one of those people who think they know business.
Okay, thank you. I do a little bit. We've got to get across this river, and something like that should do us quite nicely. Not the cheapest of routes, that's for sure. But if we stick to the low-lying land, it shouldn't cost us too much at all, and we kind of skirt through all of these hills. Yeah, that's pleasant enough. This section's a bit rough, but it's not too bad, is it? Yeah, we're up to quite an expense at the moment. That's not a bad main line, is it? We get that done and out of the way. It's 0% grade all the way. Yeah, we save a bit of money, I guess, doing this. No, we'd save more by only having one bridge, wouldn't we? I'm sure. Right, 380,000 to do it that way. But what happens if we come down this way and have a singular bridge down here somewhere? I guess it could be up closer to the split in the river there, couldn't it? Is that a little cheaper? 300? Yeah, it is a little bit, isn't it? We can get as close to that ore mine. No, clay, isn't it? Is that clay? I think so. Get as close to that as possible. Trying to keep the max speeds as well, so it's a bit of a compromise. There we go. 370? Not much cheaper. I'm quite surprised, but I like this better anyway. It cuts out a little bit of a journey, doesn't it? I should have saved it. Right, should we get some express services running on this? Do we want to double track it? I mean, probably. Probably. We don't get our autocomplete because we're junctioning down here into the gridiron down here. Well, that's a little bit cheaper, isn't it? Because we don't pay quite as much for double tracking on a bridge. But yeah, that's something we can now link into with Shreveport and maybe a few rural businesses as well. Might have blocked him off quite nicely. I can't remember his name. But yeah, pleasant. Right, let's get another gridiron down here. Did I put one down at New Orleans? I think so. Yes, muscle memory kicked in. Lovely. So let's get as a train running. I would like to put a maintenance building over in Memphis. Otherwise, that is quite the journey without maintenance. Last thing we need is for those trains to break down. Probably 2 off the bat, and we're going to have them as express trains, which we like the Forkmanot, don't we? We worked out that was the fastest, especially on long distances anyway. So these are going to be express trains, and we could stick on a caboose and just boost everything that we've got on there, all of our employees, which might not be a bad idea with that distance. It depends how busy they are. So we'll see. We'll see if they're quite busy. If they're quite busy, then we're taking up extra space, aren't we? And we can pass the extra passengers and mail. Oh yes, 2. We can pass the extra passengers and mail over to the rest of our network, which would probably be a little more beneficial than this train making a little more money on its own. Right, where do we want a supply tower on this route? It's ginormous. One end or the other, possibly. It might need one at either end, given the length. I'm not sure. We're going to have to check whether they fixed trains slowing down through supply towers, which does kind of dictate where we have them. Let's take off the contours there. There we go. We'll stick you in there for now. Are we missing one on this route? We are, aren't we? We're missing one on the route from Dallas to Austin. Austin is getting very busy. We are going to need to do something about that. And we're missing one between Dallas and Oklahoma. Again, it means a little more these days since the latest patch. So let's get you a supply tower, and we'll get you another supply tower there. It's like Dallas has all the supply towers, while our trains are heading in there. Right, we're in a good place. Now we can hook up this coal and the chain of warehouses, which will expand on this warehouse network as we go. But priority would be sending coal down, wouldn't it, to Austin? Is it Austin? Yeah, Austin's going to need the coal. We already get the iron. And we've got a train that's not doing much because we're probably full on iron. Yes, we are. We got 3 on the way. Oh, is that extra information? Storage time. I believe it is. Look at that. Destination on train amount 3. Storage time weeks. Really? Oh, that's kind of nice, isn't it? Will it say that there is some coal in a warehouse somewhere? That's marvellous. I love it. Oh, thank you. Extra information is always useful. We have a research point, but I'm not sure if there are any research blocks available for 1 star. I don't think there is there? There's no research for 1 star. No. So we don't need to worry about that. We've got to get a few more stars. We might need to double up on this train. Let's get you... Oh, no, we're missing a link, aren't we? We need another warehouse. Not in his... not in his station. That won't help us. In our Dallas station. There we go. And we need to get you shifted with some coal. There you go. Now, that should create the link. All we need to do now is bring in our coal to Oklahoma City. Let's bring up the contours and no unnecessary grades. We'll get it as close as possible. I'm pretty sure that hasn't changed. You still only get paid per delivery, not for distance. How do I want to do this? Are we going anywhere this way? Maybe milk? Maybe milk in that city. So yes, what we'll do is we'll bring this out straight and then curve it around. Put our grid iron in. We'll branch into that instead, so we don't have to worry about changing the way that sits. Right, get our signaling in. Did I do the signaling everywhere else? I feel like muscle memory is really kicking in. This is probably not going to need double tracking either. It shouldn't be that busy, should it? We're probably going to be storing quite a bit in the warehouse. So we'll just go up that far and we'll get us some signaling there. Will you complain about that? More than likely, we will get an early supply tower on just in between that double section of track, and we'll get a train line running in there. Freight only. Our freight is definitely the Mastodon, isn't it? Yes. And it's our train, but since we're supplying a warehouse, wait until 4 is probably going to be better than wait until full, isn't it? I've got to get back into the swing of things. It's I'm thinking a bit more than usual, which is probably not a bad thing. There we go. We've got our connection. Are you taking coal? It should all be for Austin. You are. Beautiful. So we've got some on the way. Let's just check on Austin. 76,000 they're already up to. Yeah, we've got to supply them with a few extra goodies as well. But that's good news because they'll want their tools roughly once we start making steel. That's going to be nice, isn't it? Timing will be impeccable. Although we do still have to sort out the trains over here. They're a bit full. We could maybe split that, would be useful. Yeah, they're all coming into these two platforms at the moment, which is not ideal. We could send these trains over, except they'll do a little dance here. We could also have this branch across. I mean, it's got to cross. It would only have to cross the express line once, wouldn't it? Either way. Yeah, and it is an express train, so it might not be too bad. We can make use of some more platforms down here. Once he's gone past the supply tower, are you going to refuel or refill? You are not. Do we want a weaving mill in Memphis? Do you know? Oh, let's push it up at the very least. She might fight us on this.
Will you please stay out of my business?
I bought your business. Well, there we go. We grabbed that. She didn't fight much, did she? She's possibly not got much money. That's good for us. Right, can we make a 4-track gridiron then? Just here. That would probably be better. Give us a few more options coming the other way, wouldn't it? So after all that, we're probably going to reset this train. Maybe not. Can we squeeze you in here? I'm trying to not delete our train. Maybe we can do this. Right, I like it. Let's straighten this up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know what you were doing there. You completely didn't see my little marker. I don't know what that was all about. It's fine. Right, yes, let's delete you. We're going to send you up to that line. It's less of a wiggle anyway, isn't it now? There we go, beautiful. Full refunds are enabled, so not a big deal. We'll send you out a little ways, and then we'll see where our gridiron sits. I mean, we could have a quad track running down here, I guess, at some point. Yeah, maybe. So, for now, shall we just bring this out a little further? And then we'll sort that out. And I still never checked whether I did the signalling over on our new build. I think I did. 43 miles an hour, but these are freight trains. I don't really mind them slowing down, getting into station, unless, of course, that is the speed issue. And we could tidy it up. I don't want to get rid of that train, though. Right, let's get our signalling in. Make sure we have all the signalling required. We do. Let's check over here, shall we? I don't remember doing it, but I did. Go me. Again, muscle memory kicking in. Perfect. Okay, we're good. That should see a little less traffic being held up at our station. We've got another... yes, I saw that coming, didn't I? Our train between Austin and Dallas is going to refuel. We don't have one on the Johnson Station line to Austin, our ore. We'll stick it on the single track for now. There we go. You stay on there. We do have a little ways in now, don't we? We could have a little train run from Shreveport. Maybe. Salt mine near Atlanta for 170,000. That seems a little ways away. Maybe not. Right, are we starting producing yet? No. But where are you in the great scheme of things? Coal, we have 10 on the way, and it now breaks it down. All of it is on the train. What I'm hoping to see is when it sits in the warehouse. Are you in the warehouse? You're not in the warehouse yet, so it's on the way. Where is it then? Oh, is it already left? Oh, it's already left. Look at that, guys. We've already shifted. Yeah, we've already shifted. 8 of it, is that? That's perfect. Yeah, and the 2 on the way is on the other train, which it won't do yet because we're waiting until 4. But once this gets into this warehouse, we should see that information update, which is what I'm hoping anyway. It'd be lovely if that is the case. Will you be dropping it off yet, sir? My PC so much more responsive. The zooming is super fast. It'll be nice to see how it performs in late game, because it was getting a bit stuttery for me. But I wasn't going to say anything in regards to that, as I had a nearly 6-year-old CPU in my system. Not anymore, thankfully. And thanks to you guys as well. I do want to mention that. If it wasn't for you guys watching my channel, I wouldn't be buying extravagant CPUs. But I think it's worth it for making videos, gameplay wise. Okay, you're going to go in there and drop off all your coal. You've got a lot of wagons on there, haven't you? They're like a double wagon. They're like minecarts on flat cars, aren't they? T and no. Okay, he's on the way into the station. Fast forward a little bit. We're saving up some money because we're probably going to do a few big builds, aren't we? Right, you are heading in. This should hopefully sit in the warehouse. Are you dropping it off yet? Yes, you are. Let's just check. Does it update the information? There we go, guys. We have 5. It's dropping it off in Dallas's warehouse. So it's being stored in Dallas. It'll tell you how long it's being stored as well. I love all that. That's brilliant. I think we're in a good place, don't you? We've got coal on the way. We've got our passenger network underway between Dallas and Memphis. We have a train. That's a random breakdown. We can't do anything about that. The music is excited. I'm excited to be back recording. I say that now. I'll have to wait until I edit. Hopefully everything turns out just fine. Otherwise, it's an entire new recording. Don't jinx it, Gran. Don't jinx it. Right then, anything else we can do before we go?
The work is progressing well from my side, too. The desert poses different challenges than Louisiana. First and foremost, the route is a much longer one.
Okay, yes it is. Right, well that is a perfect place to end it. By August 30th, 1875 we did that. We have transported 60 passengers from Dallas to Memphis without changing trains. That was key. Our steel production should be underway at the beginning of the next episode, and we should really start making planks maybe at Austin if we can get away with it. What are we making over in San Antonio? Yes, the furniture. Let's just double check before we leave. If we can get planks in there, they're up to 80,000. Then they'll start requesting tools at 85,000. Planks will give them a bit of a boost. And I like the sound of that. What do you think, guys? It looks like a plan. Tools requires lumber and steel. And just before we go, I remember this being a bit of a money sink for us. Carter logging. Oh, look at that profit now. 114,000. We have 2 stars to spend when we come back too. I love it. Alright guys, we are heading to Dallas from Memphis on our Forkanaut, our express train. We've achieved that now. We're going to cross the bridge and then head all the way to Dallas. It's going to be quite the journey. Unlikely we'll get to finish it. There's our bridge, beautiful. But thoroughly enjoyed being back, guys. It's been a while. All the frustration and hard work has paid off getting my PC back up and running. I should mention it's water cooled as well. First time I've ever done that. Hopefully not a bad idea. A little bit worried about it. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. And until next time, take care.